Hi guys, and welcome back again for another video. This time we're going to be discussing loadouts. This is really subjective as well, a bit like my first video with the settings. It depends what type of player you are. I play a mixture of just multiplayer and ranked. I don't typically play Battle Royale, so I'm going to show you what type of loadouts I have, and hopefully you might be able to use some of those to your advantage. So let's go to my current loadout. So you get your 5 loadouts. It's good to have a gun that is typically good for every single scenario and map that you're going to play on. I'm not a sniper. Typically, sometimes people will have sniper setups, but I tend to not do that. I play differently. So the first loadout I have is my Man of War Revolution. I got this when I reached Master Level 2. What I find works really well for me is that we use the red dot sight. It gives me a good field of view, and it gives me the best vision from the gun straight down the barrel for my targets. I'll then typically use FMJ. This for me works really well because it gives you the increase of damage, and it just makes your kill hits a little bit quicker than standard. I then have foregrip. I have foregrip on absolutely every single gun I have, purely because it doesn't matter how stable your gun says in the description, stability is key. You don't get that heavy recoil where it can go vertically up and you've got to bring your shot down. That takes more bullets to kill your opponent. So with that foregrip, it gives you the maximum stability. I typically always then go for fast mag reload. I don't generally have extended mag. The fast reload works really well. For example, on the ICR, the typical reload speed for something like that is about 1.2 seconds. It's really quick. And with those guns, whether it's an LMG setup or an assault rifle, especially with the LMGs, it takes quite a while to do the reload. So bringing that fast reload down on all of your classes makes a huge difference, especially if you're low on ammo and you're in a gunfight. With the secondary weapon, I always have the MW11. It's really good. It's got me out of trouble so many times. It's a great backup weapon to have. Typically, I'll use FMJ. I'll use quick reload and the stock attachment. So this here is pretty much my go-to weapon of choice. What you'll find on the right-hand side is what operator skill you'll use. I always use a transform shield. Again, depends on what type of player you are. If you're an aggressive player, you might want to use the Sparrow. You might want to use a Hive, or the Death Machine is very popular. I think the most popular one that I see pro players use at the moment is War Machine. Again, really good. It takes a bit of getting well to get used to it. But for me, the transform shield works really well. If I'm set up in a position and I want to cover an area and I want to make it that little bit more difficult for an enemy to get to me, get behind your transform shield rather, block off the area that you're looking to contain, and you'll get a lot of kills, especially if you've set it up in the right position. What I find really well with a transform shield is that by the time you've put it up, if it's in the right position and you're getting lots of kills, by the time your shield drops back down, you've got another one ready to go. Whereas some of the other ones, like the Sparrow, the War Machine, you'll typically get that one per match. But with the transform shield, if you're that type of player where you like to just contain an area, let people come to you, you don't want to run about the map, you don't have the confidence in doing that if you're new to the game, it's a really good option, and it's one that is my go-to option. I always usually, for my lethal, always use a trip mine. I'll put that in an area again. Some will say I'm camping. I don't. I do move around the map, but I like to stay in one position and own that area of the map. Especially in ranked gameplay, what you'll find is that some people will adopt certain positions in the game, certain areas of the map that they'll look to contain. And with a trip mine, if you're indoors, you can put it by a front door. You can put it in areas where you think that you could get flanked from. And even if someone's got flak jacket on, it won't kill them, but it will alert you that someone's tripped your mine. You can turn around to that area where you've laid it, and you can look to take them out without them taking you out. So always use trip mine for me. This one's a big one. Trophy system, have to have it on every setup. This has got me out of countless confrontations. With the trophy system, this will take war machines on, it will take any grenades that are thrown at you, it will just absorb them, and it will just make sure that it keeps you in the best position in the game where you're not having to just die every time. So for me, trophy system works really well. With the perks, always use flat jacket, especially in ranked. You'll find that a lot of people use lightweight. Some of the pro players. I'm not a pro player, so for me, flat jacket's great. With the trophy system and the flat jacket hand in hand, it's really good. I'd like to think unbeatable formula because it takes so much damage. You do not die, and by the time you do absorb that damage, you're able to get your shots off on your opponent, and by the time the next opponent comes round, you'll be back to normal health. Second perk I always use is cold-blooded. I'm always out in the open. Sometimes I'll typically be indoors, but I don't want to be hit by any score streaks like your stealth choppers that are in the air and things like that. A lot of people will use Ghost when they're running about a map. They don't want to be heard. Some people use Vulture, but for me, cold-blooded's the best one. As I said, I don't run around maps. For me, it's a really good perk that just keeps you off of the enemy radar, especially when they start getting their score streaks up in the air. You won't be detected. The last one I use is Hardline. This helps me get my kill streaks a little bit quicker. A typical points you'll get per kill is 100. You'll get 125 per kill, and believe me, it adds up very quickly to get your score streaks, and that 25% buff makes a big difference to me. The second loadout I have is the POW 57 for me. This has got to be one of the best guns in the game. It's SMG. I feel from long range, it's like a laser. I'll upload some gameplay later on, but for me, it's a gun that can pretty much do everything. It can take people out at long range. It doesn't have that erratic recoil, and anyone at close range that comes to you, it's an unbelievable gun. The third layout I have is the AK-117. For me, this is the best assault rifle in the game. It's not got the most damage at close range. It hasn't got the best recoil, but for me, it's got one of the best well-rounded guns you can use. I see some pro players using it in ranked matches. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. And for me, it's got a really good fire rate. The damage is okay. The accuracy is okay. It's what people will call an all-round solid weapon. And for me, it's the best assault rifle that I use. The fourth layout I have is my RPD. I always got to have one in here purely because of the magazine size. With a standard non-extended mag, you'll get 100 bullets. I think with the extended mag, you get 120, but you'll need fast reload on this purely because it takes around 3 seconds with a fast reload mag to reload. This is if your style is camping. You're not very accurate. You want to penetrate an area. You know you've got enemies coming through. Nuketown's a good example where this is used effectively. I've got countless nukes with this, and for me, you don't have to reload very often. Typically, by the time you have to reload this gun, you'd have had to reload 3 times with an assault rifle. So if you are in a gunfight and there's multiple people coming towards you, you can just slay them all out. The last one I use is the AK-117 Magnacom. I got this when I am going through my tiers at the moment through the Season 4. I just like the animation on this, and it's just, as I said, it's an all-round solid gun. Honourable mentions with this is the Type 25. Again, I got this I think in Season 3. It does the same type of damage as what the standard Type 25 does. It got a bit of a buff in Season 4. It's a really good gun, and it, again, a bit erratic, close range. It's an absolute beast. One gun that a lot of people were using in Season 4 was this, the MSMC. This was an absolute war machine. It used to literally, you'll see most of the pro players using this gun back in Season 3. It got a big nerf in Season 4. It's not anyone's go-to gun now, and it's a gun that not many people will use. The recoil is very erratic, and that's why I like For me, I like using the Royal Crimson POW 57 or the RUS 79U. If we look at some of the other guns which, again, people use sniper rifles, I don't particularly use sniper rifles. I don't think I'm qualified enough to explain what's good with the sniper rifle, what ones are not so good to go for. For me, if I am going to use one, it'd be the Arctic 50. The Arctic 50 for me in the sniper range, it's got great damage, one shot, one kill. The accuracy is good. The fire rate's very high as well. A lot of the pro players will use the DLQ 33, but for me, the Arctic 50 is an all-round good gun, and it's a gun that hasn't really let me down. So that's kind of my setup that I currently use. Remember to have a class set up for every eventuality that you can be in game wise, especially if you're in ranked. You don't get the luxury of knowing what game mode you're going into, so you've got to make sure that you've got a layout that is prepared for each map. I hope you like this video. Again, very new to YouTube. I will be bringing you some more. If you want to look at my clan, it's nuketown.elite. Here's my settings that I'm currently doing at the moment. I've been playing the game pretty much since it begun, over 4,000 games. Just over half of those I've been MVP, which I'm really proud of. And typically, more than not, I'm in the top 3. Currently on Master 2 ranked at the moment. For me, I'm not one of these people where I want to get to Legendary and get on that leaderboard. I just wanted to get the Man of War gun. I don't pay to open crates. So for me, it's through grinding. So hope you like the video. Like, subscribe, let me know in the comments if you've got any other layouts that work really well for you. I'll be really interested to know. And if you want any other future videos, please again comment in the section below, and we'll see you on the next one.